Don't know if you are good enough to feature today, Rex. Have you been a good boy? Have you been a good boy? I don't know if you have.
Welcome to Rex's podcast. On today's episode, the best places to poop in the woods. Rex, take it away.
No.
Rex, where...
Good boy.
You're a terrible guest.
No.
Excuse
Calm.
me, could you tell me...
Calm.
Rexy, where's the best places to sniff in the woods? Right, really? That's interesting you say that. Tell me more about that sniff.
Good boy. No, we're here to talk about Hyrox.
Hyrox. We're here to talk about Hyrox.
Hyrox.
It's Hyrox.
Lots of people still call it Hyrox. I'm not sure where that's come from. Is that not the stuff you put in the bath? Hyrox? You know, the bath foam stuff? Or is that Hyrox too?
I don't know, I've never heard of it. Anyway.
Hello.
Welcome back. This is it. We've done it.
Yeah, lost track of the episodes. We kind of had a little bit of a hiatus.
Well, I was ill.
Well, before that you got injured.
I got injured and I got ill.
Yeah, so that kind of put a bit of a stunt on the podcasting
It was all
because
fun.
we didn't really have much to report because
I was injured.
there wasn't very much happy chappiness going on.
No, but Rex.
So your injury before, so that must have been, what, 3 weeks before Hyrox?
Yeah, 3 weeks
Yeah,
before
3 weeks before.
3 weeks before Hyrox, I got injured. And then...
At the gym. Running
on a curved treadmill. And then 2 weeks before Hyrox, I got...
Man flu. So cue me trying to do anything and absolutely everything to avoid...
Stay away from me.
Getting the man flu, because I knew it was gonna, if I was gonna get it, I would get it on the Wednesday or something, and then we'd have Hyrox on the Saturday.
Yeah.
But I don't know how, but I managed to...
You avoided it. Come up here and sit. No, chill out.
The weekend that you had it,
Stay.
I was just like, right, I'm going out.
Yeah, you
Bye.
just left me lying on the sofa to fend for myself. Yeah, so that's that update.
But we did manage to get, 3 Hyrox sims in before we did it?
Yeah, we managed to build up to...
We did an 80%.
We did an 80%, no, we got 2 sims.
Oh, I thought we did 3.
No, we got an 80% sim and then a 60% sim. And that was it.
And then you had the man flu, so we didn't train the weekend before. Yeah, so really good prep.
And then I had a really debilitating bug that attacked my nervous system and shut me down internally and externally.
What are you on about?
Man flu.
Oh. Wow.
So yeah. We could have been better.
Oh yeah.
Like, it could have been better.
We could have been worse.
We could have been worse.
I could have been no repped on all my wall balls instead of just
the 7,000.
The 90% of them.
Whatever you're thinking, by the way, stop thinking it. Don't bother knocking that camera. Come away from the camera. Come away, over here. Come on. I know what you're thinking
just
there.
Calm down.
Sit down, behave. You big sook. So, yeah. Hyrox.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah.
We did it. We didn't fall out.
No, that's true.
Like there were times that you were very annoying when...
Well, you were annoying too.
You were like running with your ponytail bouncing and you're all fresh and dandy. And I was behind you, a slithering, bubbling mess. Trying to breathe. Just trying not to think about the pain in my legs.
But we...
No, it was a really good event.
Yeah, it was. It was really good. We went down on the Friday.
Yes.
We went down Friday late afternoon.
Caught up with some friends.
We managed to stay in a hotel that was
Right
next door, which was ideal because we went to register on the Friday night at Sports Direct in town because they were open till 8. So by the time we were down, we got to just outside Sports Direct.
7 o'clock.
At 7 o'clock.
And they closed registration.
So they were turning people away. So bear in mind, like, our wave start was
8:50.
8:50 the next morning.
8:50 a.m. 10 to 9.
And the registration reopened again at 6:30. So of course I straight away went into, oh my goodness, the queue in the morning is going to be massive. We're going to be queuing there for over an hour. Are we going to have time to have our breakfast? Are we going to have time to go back and get changed? And
we were 11th in the queue.
Catastrophize. Yeah.
Yeah, we were 11th.
We got there 6:20 and we were 11th in the queue, in and out, back for breakfast. But yeah, so the Friday night, that happened, and then we were like, right, let's just go and get something to eat. So we went and got something to eat with a couple of friends, which was, it was quite hard to, I wasn't really sure what to eat, but I guess you just kind of keep it plain and simple.
Yeah, don't try any fancy new curries or any creamy pasta dishes that you've never had before, but you like the look of because it sounded tasty.
But it wasn't as stressful for me compared to when I am running the next day in terms of picking food. So that was slightly easier to navigate. But and then we just went to bed quite early, got up at 6.
Went to register.
Came back, had breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh, the bagels at the hotel were so good.
Oh, the bagels. What was it called? Where were we at? The Courtyard.
Courtyard Marriott.
The bagels in the Courtyard what?
Marriott.
Oh, Marriott. The bagels in the Courtyard Marriott must have been fresh, made every morning.
Why were they so chewy?
They were unbelievable.
Goodness.
Jen actually put some in her bag.
No, I didn't. That is a straight up lie.
We actually
We should have.
We should have done that, Roxy. We should have done that.
Bageled up, coffeed up, back over for...
How are you feeling at that point?
I was still okay.
Like I went through a wave of I went through all the emotions. Like I went through all the, I've not done enough and I'm going to really suffer. I'm going to be in a bad way. I'm going to be in a big ass pain cave. And then I was like, actually, when we did that 80% one, I was pushing the pace.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, maybe I'll be fine. And then just not realizing how much it wasn't fine.
Yeah.
And then I went through a weird phase of being like really nervous of like, I didn't want to let you down. And I definitely didn't like, I was like, so I'd injured my calf on a run on the treadmill. And it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
To the point that I actually thought that was it. We weren't going.
Yeah.
We were going down to support. But I managed to get it seen to, get it fixed up. And then I strapped it up for the day. And I was so conscious about it. I'd not been conscious about it for like 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And then I was hyper aware. You stop posing and look at yourself in the camera.
Good boy.
I was hyper aware of like my calf at that point. And then funnily enough, so I wore like a compression sleeve on one side. I had it like CBD bammed up.
Yeah.
I'd gunned it like madness in the morning. You're on my tummy. And then I had a compression sleeve on. And weirdly enough, it was the other calf that got really tired and pumped up.
That's always what happens.
So next time I'll just do both.
Yeah.
Next time. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Heard it here first.
So yeah, that was my thoughts and feelings of the before.
I was fine like during breakfast and everything. I was obviously like a bit apprehensive, but it wasn't until we were actually walking over that I was kind of like, oh, I'm nervous now. And like just warming up, it was a really good setup. They had that area that you could go in and
warm up.
You could warm up.
So the running track goes right around the outside. If you've never done a Hyrox, the track runs around the outside. You run in and you head to different stations and different sections of Hyrox, the rock zone, I guess. So we get to the warm up area. We're warming up, we did some sleds, we did some drills, we did some bike, we did little bits and bobs. I'll come back to that later on when I speak about like programming and how to coach it for it later on, but I then thought, I'm going to go for a quick lap.
Yeah, and I
decided to join the actual Hyrox event.
I was so confused because you were like, should we go for a run? And I was like...
It's because I saw, it was the way it was set up. I saw like the other side of the SEC.
Yeah.
Had like the wall balls and everything over there. And I thought, oh, that must be where the track is. So this must just be a warm-up track.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
I knew it definitely wasn't the warm-up track.
It wasn't.
And then you tried to start and I was like, where the heck are you going?
And then I got really embarrassed, like proper red-faced, like sweating and like had like palpitations and clammy
You were like, oh, you could have told me. I was like, well, I thought it was really obvious that the people on there are the competitors.
No, it wasn't that obvious.
But yeah, we got in there and I really wanted to have a shot of the sled just to kind of get a feel for it. So I had
ruined your nail. Yeah,
I managed to break a nail within like 3 seconds. So I was like, well, that is a good indicator of what's to come. But then before we knew it, we were going into the, what you'd call, I guess, the start pen, like 5 minutes before we were going.
And then it was go. It was go
Which
time.
It was quite daunting in there.
In there
it was good. Like, it was a bit of a hype, but there's only been 2 races that I've ever felt like quite emotional before, to the point where like I've either cried or have been on the edge of crying, and that was both my marathons, and I felt that same way in that start pen, just because I think I didn't really know what to expect. Like in my head I thought, well, I know I've not done enough training, so it's kind of just to see. Did
you think it was good? Like, so when I signed you up for Hyrox, did you think it was going to be as big of an event as you that?
Jace, when you signed me up for Hyrox, I had no idea what I'd signed up for.
So it was quite a pleasant surprise. Which end was that?
Pardon. That was definitely the head end.
Sit down.
Sit down. Sit down. Good boy.
That boy.
We're not giving you enough attention.
What do you want to speak about? What do you want to speak about, mate? Walks?
No.
Biscuits? Oh, biscuits. Oh, it's biscuits the topic of the day. Is it good biscuits? I like biscuits.
I like biscuits too.
I also like walks.
I like running more.
I like my ball. Where's my ball?
I like running.
You going running?
Sorry, Red.
You're winding him up.
Good boy.
You're winding him up. Sorry, mate. I'm sorry. Friends?
No kisses. So yeah, I guess didn't really know like what we were signing up for when we did sign up.
I knew what I was signing up for.
Well, I didn't.
I unfortunately knew what I was signing up for. So anyway, we're in the start pen.
Yeah.
Emotions are high. My adrenaline, I was spiking. Like, I couldn't stand still in the start pen. I was ready. I was like, I don't know, I think I was just speaking shite.
Yeah.
I was just ready, and I'll see you, cheerio. Ready to go. And then 3, 2, 1, bang, we're out the start pen. And we're off.
Yeah.
And that's it. That was it. That was us for the next hour and 17 minutes and 57 seconds.
Yeah.
Gee, thanks. So yeah, that was it. It was all go. So first run, I actually felt really strong in the first run. I was like, okay, we're in, here we go.
Yeah.
We got to the skier, I jumped on the skier. Every piece of advice I've given for everyone I've programmed for a Hyrox.
Yeah, you did the complete opposite.
Is do not go hard on the skier, because that'll make or break your race, depending on how hard and how high you spike your heart rate.
And what did you do?
I went hard.
What a knob.
I went hard. I was pulling a 120 at one point, I pulled a 119, and then the rest of like my set, I guess, was at like 125, 130. And I was fine. And I remember putting the handles down and you jumping on at me taking a step back. And I think there's a video of me actually just coming off and being like, I'm fine. And then just hitting my knees being like, oh no, I'm not fine.
It hits you after.
Because the skier is such a delay, and it hit me hard. And then my heart rate did not come back down. It didn't even budge. Like some of the runs, you're like, come on, I know you can push harder on that. Like, I've seen you do better than that on a treadmill. I've seen you move faster. Like, I've seen you do it. Like, I know you're capable of. I'm like, nah. Like, I'm like red limit. I'm on the limiter, like a red lining. Like, I'm any more, and I was. That is the
biggest, rookiest mistake ever, though.
Yeah.
You telling all your clients, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And what did you do?
I got really excited and went for it.
Idiot.
I'm only human.
No, but you should be able to control that.
And so yeah, that was that. Don't chew a hole in my socks, mate. And then, so skier was good.
I hate the skier.
I think we came off the skier. I think
it's a good one to start on because like...
So I put a video up of how we have two very different techniques on it. So my plan for the skier is to make the fan as loud as humanly possible and take as little strokes as humanly possible, but just really drive it as hard as I can. You decided to go like a bat out of hell on it and see how fast you can actually pull the skier. If that camera falls, you're buying a new one.
Yeah, so it was... I mean, I was really conscious of not doing what I've done a lot at the start when we were training about the sort of...
Oh yeah, the butterfly
I was doing
arms.
this circle, so I was very conscious of trying to just go up, down, up, down. But I don't know.
And then second run. Set off. And that was actually it wasn't our slowest run. So we set off in the second run. And I felt okay, but I felt like we needed to calm down. So I was like, I just remember being like, Jen, settle, calm down.
I was like, I don't want to.
Oh, let's calm down.
I don't want to calm down. I'm not ready to calm down.
And then back in from the second run. And like, I don't know how people manage to mess up. Unless you miscount or whatever. Like, there's systems and ways and processes that you can utilize within yourself for counting your laps. I
think it would be hard if you were solo.
If you were solo,
fair.
So I did this. I did it twice in some of our runs because I was like, I'd shout out. So every time, so it was on the third time you saw the in sign.
Yeah.
You go in. Right, on the third one.
Which sounds simple.
But then you pass it. So you come out the start and then you pass it and you're like, do I count this as one?
Yeah.
And you're like, you must count it as one.
Yeah.
So then, you do.
We made an agreement that
every time we pass it, we count it out loud. So you could either do that, that's a good tip, or a thing that I did actually twice was when I went past it the first. So my cap was like this. And when I went past it, I flipped my cap round.
How did you? No, you wouldn't remember that.
I did. I flipped my cap round for one, and then I flipped it back for two, and then all I had to do is go back in on the third.
That's unnecessarily wasting energy that you could have been putting into your run.
Yeah, I was testing stuff. So, I was putting. I gave everything, and my heart rate tells otherwise. So not you, me.
Me.
So then after the second run, we end up in sled push.
Yep.
That shit hurt.
I didn't mind it.
I didn't mind it. We did it really fast. We just basically, I went up, you went down, I went up, you went down.
Yeah.
Simple. And then we were off to run.
Yeah.
When we went off to run, I actually thought somebody had put weights in my shoes. Like I couldn't bend my knees. My legs were, I was like running like this because my legs, every time I bent them, they felt like they were just going to give way. And I was like, oh no. Oh no. And it was probably at that moment I was just like, shit. We're in this for a long time. And the run 3, that was our slowest run. And it hurt. Like I couldn't breathe. I couldn't get my heart rate under control. I actually remember telling you, I'm like, I'm struggling. Like I'm really hurting.
I was like, you just need to breathe. I was like, you just need to work through the breathing. Focus on the breathing.
Leave it. Right. Come away.
Out you go.
All right, cheerio.
Out. Go on. Bye-bye.
Bye for now, Rexy.
Disruptive.
Can't have anything nice with that dog.
Yeah, I remember just saying to you,
you're not on camera.
You just need to work through the breathing, like focus on using your arms, which sounds ridiculous, but if you focus on using your arms, then that really does help.
The problem is I couldn't use my legs.
Yeah.
Never mind my arms.
Yeah.
So how did you feel on sled, all right?
Yeah, I surprised myself, I think. I think it's different from the sled that we'd been using. I found it a lot easier. The way that I was pushing it though, I should have been a bit lower. But they had this like pole in the middle that they obviously put the weights over, and I felt like I was going to be almost like touching that with my face, so I didn't really know what to do with my head. I was like, do I put my head to the side? Do I rest my chin on top? Like, what do I do here? But I actually, the sled was okay for me. The push was okay.
Yeah.
And I felt okay, like I'm used to sort of being able to run on tired legs. So I actually felt like I managed that really quite well.
We'll give you like
without sounding
our own
big-headed.
We'll give you our own. We ran 2 very different races.
Yeah.
Like we had 2 very different experiences during the Hyrox. Even though we did it together, we had 2 totally different experiences, which is good because I can now lean on.
Based on how we felt.
Based on how we felt, yeah. But I can lean on that as a coach now in order to better program certain aspects for certain people. So people who aren't perhaps runners who are trying to get into it, they'll need to program like me and do a lot more running. Whereas someone like you who's looking to do a Hyrox, is probably looking at doing a lot more of the skill element and how to become more efficient on the ergs and like the strength, and that's what I mean, the skill, the wobble. But we'll come back to that at the end. So run 4, I think after that the runs were pretty much just he's just whining outside. The runs were pretty much steady after that. They were always like 5:20ish. They were pretty steady, and like you were really good at using the run to recover. But obviously you're not used to running that slow, so
but I'm used to that. Again, I'm used to that. All my sessions that I do, a lot of my sessions are like hard efforts, and either recovery is shuffle, jog, or float, so like 20 to 30 seconds slower than the effort of the rep. So I'm like that's bread and butter. That's my bread and butter.
Like when I was doing sessions, I would stop dead and try and recover that way.
So that's like a key learning for next time.
Massive learning curve, loads of lessons and takeaways, and obviously my opinions on it as well. So sled pull.
Oh my god, this is the one that I was dreading the most, because I could do it-ish to an extent when we were training in the gym, but I couldn't do it quickly or well. You would always say to me, walk back, and I just felt like I couldn't physically move it. But actually on the day, the rope was slightly elasticated, so it actually, I felt like I could move it. I don't know if it was
elasticated, but I think when you pulled it taut, it was like it gave you...
to it. So I felt like I could move it, albeit not very quickly. I could move it a bit quicker than I could in the gym, but then you would just come in and you would just be like, I'd be like, how is that moving like that?
Yeah, I thought that was the easiest one of the day. It was just bang, done. So I enjoyed that one, which is good. But again, that is sheer strength. Sheer strength, reliant on that. And then the next run, and then from sled pull it was...
I think it was burpees, was it not?
Was it burpees?
I think so, because on this run, did you not have like... There was something on this run, because I remember coming in to the bit and you saying, you're going to have to take the hit on this, because you didn't feel good on that run. And it wasn't because of the sled pull, because you breezed it. There was something on that run, whether you felt sick or whether that was a run later on or...
Yeah, no, I did. I started to feel real sick on that run. I remember this now. I remember starting to feel sick. But that was like another quicker run for us, because I'd managed to recover on the sled. So we tried it a bit quicker. And so what I didn't account for, and again, so if you're watching this for Hyrox tips, this is something to account for. The sheer vast volume of people that are on the running track. So you spend you don't run in straight lines or in circles or around a track. You spend a lot of your time either A, getting your stride cut up because someone jumps in front of you, or someone shouts on your left or on your right and you're like, oh shit, sorry, you're moving out of the way. Or you've got someone in front of you who's like, I'm absolutely knackered, and they stop dead in front of you, so you have to now jump out to the side. Or you're overtaking people, and again, you're being that person who's not intentionally, well, I hope you're not intentionally cutting people's strides up. If you are, you're a dickhead. But like you're trying to get past people and you're trying to do it in a way, so like, I don't know about you, but every time you pass someone, I would always speed up so that I didn't end up causing them. Like it's as much their competition as it is mine. Like you know, they've got just as right to be there as I have. So I wanted to speed up past them so that when I cut back in, I wasn't cutting them up or bumping into them. Like the amount of times someone shoulder barged me. I met that guy with his top off who was like, he didn't say anything, he just barging through people.
Yeah, he probably had enough by that point.
Like, I almost had enough of him. Like, I thought the next time he did that to me, I'm scooping his feet clean out underneath him.
Well...
Like, how's your run now? You prick. So,
this is what I've got to deal with.
But yeah, I was like, there's just no need. Like, I get it. Like, and plus, we're in the open category, right? We're in the everyday category.
Yeah.
If you want to run that fast, mate, go do the pros.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, you can't because you're not strong enough to move those sleds and pull those weights. Anyway, that was my rant done for that.
But no, so your pace is heavily dictated in some cases by, especially if a new wave has just gone off.
And so a new wave will go off, I think it was like every 20 minutes or something, so there's more mass people, and you always knew the new waves because they were all fresh and absolutely bombing. I remember saying to you at one point, I remember that was us.
But also the amount of energy that you actually expend weaving in and out, that's such a thing. Like,
it sapped my legs so much. Like my legs I could feel them being like, oh no. Especially like I always found it worse when like your stride was cut up and you're like, oh, and then you tried to open your stride up again. You're like, oh no, my legs.
Yeah, it's massively horrible. Energy wasting.
So yeah, we were going into the burpees, and I remember saying to you, you're gonna have to take a hit on this first bit, and then we now call Jen Le Frog.
I don't know what happened because I hate burpees.
You just went, and in fact, I'll put a picture up somewhere here as well. I think we've got a video of you doing burpees, but you just went so much. So you did the whole length, unbroken, at speed, by the way. So much so that I had like a little mini photo shoot with the photographer in the middle. Just chilling, just having a wee photo shoot, fist bumping the crowd, just chatting away.
Oh, I just felt good, and I just thought, well, may as well just go hard.
And then I think that's obviously where your heart rate spiked the most.
Yeah, I think that's probably where my heart rate went up to 195 apparently.
Yeah.
Definitely the burpees. So I did like 40 meters, and then said, right, on you go.
And then I did the other side, maybe about 3/4 of it. Then you finished it off to give me a little breather before we started to run again.
Yeah, that we kind of decided that was almost like a way to approach a couple of the stations that were more sort of cardio based.
Yeah,
I would start.
I actually thought I felt really good on the burpees, to be fair.
So
like I was managing to, I was just I was hitting the floor, hitting it hard, getting up and just jumping as hard as I could. I actually think I did like maybe like 10 burpees.
Yeah.
And I tried to cover as much ground as possible, so I was like, sack that.
Yeah. Another run.
Then off on the run, again, back for rower.
I started again.
The rower, so if I was to rank all the workouts in the middle, all the components, the rower was the worst one for me.
Really?
Like I couldn't push with my legs. Which like how I would normally use a rower.
Yeah.
I couldn't push my legs because my quads would cramp at the top. So then I had to kind of stop using my legs and just like just use my back and just row it. I was literally just like this at one point. Trying to keep my legs as straight as possible, but even that was cramping them. So you did a good chunk of the rower.
Well, I started again like almost just like giving you a little breather when we got back in. So I jumped straight on, and then you went on, and then I just finished it off.
Yeah.
But I was kind of like, oh, I could maybe switch again, and then it got to that point where it was like, oh, there's not really enough left to switch back, and then I'll have to switch back again anyway. And I just thought, okay. And then I heard you say, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, fine. And you'd said something like, I'm good to go. And I can't even remember. I was just like, no, it's fine. I've got it. But I tried to.
There's a lot of pictures and videos of me just standing behind you. And then we're off on another run. But
that's where, no, my heart rate must have spiked at the rower, not the burpees. Yeah, because that was hard. But yeah, then out to another run. Which, by the way, the amount of running you do within the actual rock zone itself.
Oh my God, yeah, didn't account for that.
So you think, oh, I'm going to do 8K running, but actually
did like
my watch was like just over 10k.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Mad.
it's insane, and you don't account for that.
Do you get a map on your watch?
No, because I put it on indoor run, I think.
Oh, right, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
So, rowers done, run, and that, like you say, the running in the rock zone it's long. It's actually, it's like 200-300 meters at times.
Yeah.
Especially like when we ran in to do the skier, we actually ended up on the bottom skier, so we ran all the way in, got to the bottom, then had to run all the way back out.
Yeah.
But it was fine. Like it's so well run though. Apparently there was like over 8,000 competitors over the Saturday Sunday.
I read that.
And like, wow, like it's insane. It just kept going though. Like
and
nothing ever seemed to be.
I was kind of thinking, like how am I going to know where to go and how am I going to know what to do? But it just
simple.
It just works.
Like number 1, skier, and then there's a big thing that says number 2, sled push.
Yeah.
And then the next one says number 3. It works really well actually.
Yeah.
So after rower was lunges.
Yeah.
Oh no, it wasn't. It was farmer walk. Farmer. I have one. Not that anyone from Hyrox will watch this, but I have one giant piece of feedback that would make everything better. And I know it's a little bit extra work to set up, but for the sled pool, there was one bucket of chalk, and it was at the entrance as we came into the sled pool. And I forgot to grab it on the way in. So when we got to farmer walks, we were like, make sure we chalk up.
Yeah.
And again, there was one bucket and almost a queue for.
Yeah. Because I'd spotted it when we did one of the laps. I was like, right, the bucket is in front of the kettlebells.
Yeah.
We just go straight to that.
So yeah, that'd be
there was a queue for the bucket.
Yeah, that'd be my one and only piece of feedback. That and put some bloody air conditioning on. Oh my God, it was hot.
Yeah, it was like
the driest mouth in the world. But again, like, what do you expect?
Yeah, that volume of people in there is going to be hot. That volume of
people doing that kind of stuff. So, farmer walk. Wait till you hear this, right?
I think I've blanked this.
Here we go. Here we go.
You're like crying about it, and I'm like, what?
So basically, I didn't really get to do any of the farmer walk. Jen just decided that she was going to do the whole thing on her own because she felt good and she looked super good doing it, and she felt
not at all. Someone was bitching and moaning in my ear about the fact that he couldn't breathe after doing the run. So I thought, okay, I'll help.
Still want to do it.
Friend out.
So we chalk up. Jen grabs the kettlebells and starts sprinting.
Yeah, it's a competition. It's a race. Yeah. How fast you can get from one point to the other.
But the clue's in the name, farmer walk.
No, you got to run with that shit.
You went out.
You were just like, slow down, take your time. I don't want to take my time.
No, I want you to take your time so I can breathe.
I didn't want to take my time.
You just said I was bitching and moaning, and then I can't. Basically, I did that 1k run beforehand, and then I did maybe what was that, 200 meter? Basically a 200 meter sprint, and then back into another 1k run. I didn't get any rest. Anyway,
I did all that, carrying kettlebells.
At one point, I remember shouting to Jen, like, Jen, put them down, I want a shot.
Yeah, I probably forgot by that point.
Screaming at her, like, from behind, like, put them down, I want a shot. Like, put them down. And then you eventually put them down. You gave me
I think I thought there was maybe more to the...
Did you think we had to go around twice?
I think I did.
No, we went round it once, and I was like, what are you doing? Give me a shot. You basically did like 120 meters.
Yeah.
And then you eventually gave me a shot.
Back into a 1k run.
And then back into a 1k run, which surprisingly didn't feel that fresh for, because I just did a 200 meter sprint. Anyway, off we went. Second last run at this point, is it?
Yeah.
I don't know if I was feeling good at this point. I was maybe trying to pick my pace up intentionally, but I was struggling. And then we went into lunges, which I actually quite liked the lunges. I thought they were good.
Didn't mind them.
I thought we had a really good changeover technique of just grab it off. I saw people going like back to back and stuff the next day, and people were really struggling to pass the bag over, but I was just like, right, gives it on. I'm
pretty sure I grabbed it off your back and then like cleaned it up over my shoulder, but probably like hit myself in the chin in the process. So elegant.
So yeah, I think we smashed out lunges. I think we were just basically unbroken down and up. And then we were out of there. And then it was last run, and that's when Jen the motivator comes out. running backwards.
I want to speed up.
Come on, Jace, you got this. You can do it. I can't do it. My average heart rate for the entire thing was 185. I spiked it 198. 185. What was your average heart rate again?
153.
153. Come on, Jace, I know you've got more in you. I've seen you do it before. I believe in you.
I have. I do.
I was redlining. But we did. We picked it up on that last lap. We did pick it up.
And I was trying to be like, come on, we've got 400 metres. Come on, that's less than this amount of time.
You said that every single time. I'm like, that was lap 1. Like, stop saying 400 metres. Also, 400 metres is not a sprint. Anyway, we get to the wall ball bit, which is quite cool. You run past the in section and you feel quite good because you're like, haha, I'm not going back in there.
Yeah.
And then you sprint down. It almost feels like a downhill for some reason.
Obviously,
it's dead flat, but it feels like a downhill.
Yeah.
And you get into the wall ball bit. And then you go under the arch of the wall ball, you turn the corner and you're like, oh my God, the wall ball is another 100 metres away.
Yeah.
Oh God. So you go sprinting down to your end and this, what's it called? The Thunder Dome.
Yeah, Thunderdome.
The Thunderdome. So it's like built up walls either side. People cheering. It's actually quite an atmosphere and it's quite mental in there.
Yeah, it was good.
So we're in there. Like, right, Jen, moment you've been waiting for. You've been practicing these wall balls every single day for the last 8 weeks.
I practiced about 3 sessions worth of wall balls.
That's right. That's what I meant to say. Anyway,
which was very apparent.
Jen starts wall balling.
Oh my God!
And literally from rep 1, no rep.
The first 3 reps were no reps. But you know why? In fairness,
which is weird.
No one told me that I had to go on the bottom target. I mean, there was probably something somewhere that said I had to go on the bottom target. But
you were actually hitting the top.
I thought we were equal in what we were doing for the mixed doubles. So automatically I was like, right, I've got to hit the top target.
Yeah,
so first 3 reps, hit the fucking top target.
You got no reps.
And then I was like, why am I getting no reps? Am I not going low enough? And he was like, bottom target.
And then you weren't going low enough.
And then I wasn't going low enough. And then I just got in a complete flap because I thought...
So you slammed the ball down in a tizzy.
No, I didn't. I then initially thought that perhaps I was too far under the target and I was, as a result, not being able to hit it. Pretty sure I got dished in the face at one point. Almost hit the judge with the wall ball. So it was going really, really well.
Yeah, and then...
we had 100 of these.
And so I was like, Jen, put the wall ball down, put it down, and ask him what you had to do. And he was like, okay, that's what I had to do. And then I was like, right, get out.
Well, at this point I thought I was going to start crying.
Yeah. And then I jumped in and bashed out a big set.
Yeah, but then I also didn't know how many we were on because I hadn't been counting. He wasn't counting out loud.
Yeah, he had a little clicker.
Yeah, and then when we did find out,
I think I did like 40, then you did another 10. And then I did another 30.
Yeah, we were on something like 66 or something.
And then you did.
And then we switched, and then we switched again, and I had the last 10.
Yeah.
Anyway, shambles.
And then it was sprint home to the finish.
Yeah.
And over the almost decapitated a boy.
Yeah, because you grabbed my hand.
I thought, oh, it'd be really cute, really nice little moment if we hold hands and cross the finish line. So I grabbed your hand, and we started running, and I
almost clotheslined someone.
I don't know if it was a guy, a judge, media, whoever it was, stepped back, and we were just like, "Oop!"
Bye.
And then like managed to go over him last minute. But yeah, I thought he was getting crushed at that bit, and then over the line.
1 hour 17:57.
Yeah, and within literally 5 minutes of crossing the line, you've done another one.
I know, I think it's hard because like I don't know where we'd kind of, before we did it, we kind of thought,
there's a key part of the story I'm missing. It was like, I don't know which run we were on, but like halfway around this run, I was like, Jen, you ever thought about just doing one on your own?
My response was literally like, can we just focus on the lap that we're in, please?
I.e., do you think you'll manage to do the rest of this on your own whilst I go and cry in the bathroom? Like, it's probably one of the toughest things I've done, but also the simplest things I've done.
Yeah.
Like, it was tough because I really wanted to push myself, and I mean, I might get some hate for this, but the running bit's boring.
I liked running.
Like, I thought it was boring. Like, I was like, oh God, another lap. See,
I liked it because like I love that energy from the crowd.
Yeah.
I'm used to being able to feed off that.
Yeah, whereas I'm just like, just give
You're just like, oh, I'm ready to be done.
I'm like, just give me one heavy bar and leave me alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did like you know, and you're just like, oh my God, I've got another lap to go. Like, I'm bored of this running shit. But yeah, there's lessons, loads of lessons and key takeaways.
Loads of lessons. Don't get man flu the week before. Don't get man flu the week before.
Don't get man flu the week before. Run. So for me and like all my coaching clients, I basically had us all built up to running an 8K, which is essentially what you want to do, right? I also had us running on tired legs, compromised position running, trying to recover heart rate on machines like the ergs, like Sakir, for example, rower. However, I think there's two ways to program. I think that's a good way to program for someone like you who can utilize a fast run and then try and recover on machines. Whereas for me, I think the run becomes my recovery.
Yeah.
Whereas it's slightly below a fast pace that I really want to hold so I can recover and push the implements, because the implements on my behalf would be where I would make up time and make up race effort, basically. Whereas the running for you would be more, you could really push the running and use the implements as your recovery. Like you could just get on there, take your time on a sled pull, because you know fine you're going to bash out a 350, 340k, 230. So yeah, I thought that was that. Again, I didn't take into account all the lateral side movement that you'd have to do, dodging people or getting your stride cut up. I didn't take that into account. I didn't take the heat into account, which was, you'd think I should have.
It was really hot.
But I don't know why I thought it was going to be air conditioned, but it was really hot.
And we didn't really drink during training.
No, but we took on one. Well, that's what it was. I got a double stitch, remember? And then I felt sick.
It's probably because you're not used to taking on water.
I had that double stitch. Yeah. So yeah, we had to take some water on. I still wear retainers, and they're plastic, and you get no moisture out of them. So I was just like, like I had no like moisture in my mouth at all. So that, I think, a couple of the other things, like obviously I need to get fitter. It would be fitter and faster. Like there's no, my engine needs work. Like there's absolutely no doubt about it. Like that's how I'd get better at it.
Yeah.
If it was something I wanted to focus on. For you, it's more of becoming more technically proficient and technically efficient in wall balls, like making sure you can find your rhythm and hit the target and get your depth. But then again, there's like hip mobility, ankle mobility, and like a lot of your ankle mobility would be really hard because you're a long distance runner. Your ankles are just bricks.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of factors of that. Like for both of us, if we wanted to be way better than we are, like we could be better than what we are. Like I definitely think we've got a 110 in us. 100%. Like we can knock off 10 minutes easily.
Well, we were originally aiming for 115, but then I guess like the last 2.5 weeks of prep was not ideal. But I think for our first one, we forgot to say how I messed up on the sled.
Oh, we'll come back to that in a second. So did contribute.
We learned a lot.
We learned a lot of stuff.
Stupid mistakes.
Silly mistakes. I also I lost my train of thought where I was at. My ADHD kicked in.
Aiming for like a quick.
I think if we were going to aim for like, you know, if we wanted to get in and around the hour mark, we would actually have to, dedicate a lot more time to the actual sport of Hyrox. We both have to sacrifice our main sports.
Yeah.
Which I don't think we want to do.
No.
So I actually think, I don't know about you, but I actually felt it was just a really good fun thing to do with you.
Yeah, it was really fun.
In a weird, sadistic, masochistic way.
100%, yeah.
Like I
was just lucky that my running carried me through that. My running fitness massively carried me.
It was huge. Like the difference between me and you was like, it was night and day.
Yeah.
Which everyone's like, oh my God, Jen's a beast. Jen's an absolute weapon.
No, I'm just like,
here, by the way, you know I did it with her? Like I was I was there. Like I did it as well.
But I'm just endurance fit.
You could definitely tell like our lung capacity, our aerobic capacity, our heart rates and stuff was just, but then like again, you could tell that I was a lot stronger when it came to the sled push.
Yeah.
Like, easy.
Yeah.
Didn't find it a challenge at all.
Exactly.
Actually, at one point I remember thinking, why is everyone on like the Facebook forums all like bitching and moaning about the sleds? I'm like, that was a piece of piss.
Yeah.
I remember doing the first one, just grabbing it in absolutely full sprint to the end, being like, I thought that was going to be harder.
Yeah.
Because actually, I remember there was only 2 things I actually found not annoying about the sled, because like that is what it is. It's how they set it up. But obviously the sled's on the carpet area, but you start with your feet off the carpet area on just like slick ground. So I did find getting traction in that hard. So I would initially like come close, push it almost like a shoulder press, and then get my feet on and go. But that was my issue. I thought it was good fun being like in the trenches with you.
Yeah,
it's the first time we've done something like that.
Yeah, it is.
Like we've both done our separate things, but that was the first time we've been a team, and
weird.
Yeah,
it was good though. We didn't fall out, so that's the main thing.
A couple of times I had to pull. A couple of times I had to pull her back. At one point, Jem was running with some absolute random stranger. Thought it was me. Turned around and I'm like, "What are you doing?"
I was like, it's not you.
The guy was bald, had no tap on, and was as tanned as they come. Like, I thought it was you. How? Built like a hobbit. Guy's built like Zeus.
Yeah, I had an absolute brain melt on the
sled pool. So it's 4 laps, up, down, up, down. We did 3 and Jen thought we were done, so we actually started to run away.
We did. We ran to the other side and then looked back and we're like, oh, our sled's the only one that's still at that side.
So then we had to run all the way back.
All the way back.
And the judge was like, yeah, you've got 1 more. I was like, oh. So then we just rapid fire pulled it out of the way and then we were off.
You were so annoyed.
I don't think I was annoyed. I was more just like...
You were like, you're banned from counting.
I was like, that's it, you're banned from counting.
Fair. That's fair.
So then I did the counting.
Which is why we counted out loud every time we passed the...
Yeah, it was actually after that I was like, right, 1.
Because I cannot be trusted. But yeah, other than that, it was really good fun. I would go as far as saying that I did really, really enjoy it.
And I'd go as far as I actually really enjoyed it. As much as I really suffered and struggled. Like, I thought the atmosphere was unreal. I thought the buzz was unreal.
Yeah.
And for a while I thought, maybe I'm just caught up in the excitement and the adrenaline of it all. But even like now, today, a couple of days after, I didn't get sore, by the way. You'd think I would have woke up absolutely broken. I woke up fine.
Yeah, like, you were sore after, I was like, oh, I'm fine.
I remember we went into town and did a little bit of shopping. I remember trying to have to go up a flight of stairs or something in the train station. Honestly, I was wincing.
Yeah.
Every step. And then my jeans touching my thighs hurt.
Yeah.
And then the duvet at night time touching my thighs hurt. I couldn't lie in my front because my legs hurt.
Yeah.
And then I woke up the next day and I was like, you were like, how are you? And I was like, brand new.
Whereas I was fine the day that we did it. And then the next day I was like...
hit by a train.
Yeah. Upper body my legs were like relatively okay.
Yeah.
But my upper body was just ruined.
But yeah, I'd definitely go as far as saying enjoyed it. And I'd do another one.
I just need to convince you to enter one.
Should we fly to Valencia and do Valencia?
It's looking appealing, to be honest.
You're on. Alright, we'll end it there. Let Rex in, he keeps crying. Let him in to say goodbye.
Come and say bye, Rex, you big whiny boy.
Hyrox.
Come on in.
Here you come. Come here.
Go see Jace.
Hyrox Diaries, Rexy, is over.
It's exciting.
Rexy, come and see me.
It's exciting.
Rex, here.
Come on in.
Come and see. Listen.
Now.
Listen, Rex. Listen. I've got something to tell you, Rexy. Rexy.
We're going to Valencia and you're not coming.
Yeah, you have to stay.
You're not coming.
You had a fun time.
Thanks.
Rexy.
Right. Thanks for coming to the Hyrox Diaries.
Hyrox Diaries, chapter 2.
Coming to a YouTube near you soon.
Rexy! You big sockhead. Alright, I'm out.